Hi everyone, I'm Pat Prokop and I'm out here in the heavenly backyard garden, and well, it's hot and humid to say the least, but this is July. Matter of fact, this is Wednesday, July 5th, and typical weather patterns for the greater Savannah, Hilton Head, Statesboro, Brunswick area for this time of the year is for exactly this, hot and humid with the chance for those afternoon showers and thunderstorms. We saw them yesterday and they're developing again this afternoon. We're probably going to see it again for tomorrow. As a matter of fact, more thunderstorms are developing off to my west right now. Now, one of the issues for today, though, is that these thunderstorms will be developing and may linger in the coastal counties throughout the overnight hours. So with that being said, let's go inside where it's air conditioned and take a look at the maps.
Inside in the air conditioned, and boy, that feels so much better. Let's go to those maps, as I was saying. And right now, there's the satellite imagery, and we're seeing these showers and thunderstorms beginning to develop off in the central and western portions of Georgia, northeast Georgia, northwest South Carolina. Another big cluster from just north of Charleston to Myrtle Beach into South Carolina, around Wilmington, North Carolina. Into North Carolina, rather. And there's another band over here in southeastern Alabama. So a lot of activities trying to develop this afternoon. Now, let's take a look at the lightning associated with that. And I'm seeing quite a bit of lightning strikes with these thunderstorms. Another big cluster across the central Florida peninsula at this time. Not too much lightning yet in the greater Savannah, Hilton Head area, but that's probably going to come a little bit later throughout the late afternoon into the evening hours. And looking at the infrared imagery overlaid on the visual imagery, there you can see a big area of development over here in southwestern Georgia, and that's the wave that I'm looking at that's going to be probably transitioning itself eastward into eastern portions of Georgia and southern South Carolina throughout the evening hours, and that's going to allow those thunderstorms to continue throughout the nighttime hours. Let's take a look at the regional radar summary from the KCLX. That's the National Weather Service radar out of Charleston, South Carolina, but the radar itself is located in Grays, South Carolina, Jasper County, just about 10 miles north of Ridgeland. And we're seeing a few thunder showers trying to develop along the intercoastal waterway in Bryan and portions of Liberty County down into McIntosh County. But there's a bigger band developing across the interior portions of our region west of US 1 right now, with that cluster developing out in the southwest portions of Georgia in and around Interstate 75, around Vienna and Cochran, down in toward Tifton. All that's going to be moving eastward into our area throughout the remainder of the afternoon hours. Let's take a look at another radar, the one out of the Valdosta area. And there you can see right there pretty good radar returns in southwestern portions of Georgia around Cordelia and Bainbridge. All that is the stuff I'm watching for that we've been moving eastward. Now, looking at the models, this from Pivotal Weather, the models are showing the rain showers developing this afternoon where they are right now, and then progressing eastward throughout the evening hour, late afternoon into the evening hours. And there we can see by 7 o'clock this evening, showers and thunderstorms over the eastern portions of South Carolina into coastal Georgia. But then, as we go into the night, these showers and thunderstorms continue in the coastal areas of Georgia and South Carolina. This is now at 9 o'clock tonight, and then going into 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. We're still seeing some rain shower and thunder activity in the coastal areas of Georgia and South Carolina. And looking at the, the high resolution rapid refresh model showing about the same thing, showers and thunderstorms developing and then moving into the coastal counties throughout the evening hours. This is at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock tonight, and then going into midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning before ending. So it looks like going to be a rainy night in Georgia and South Carolina, particularly east of the Interstate 95 area, probably maybe as far westward as US 301 throughout the nighttime hours. Now, I want to go back and let's look at the total amount of precipitation expected from this. And the total amount of rainfall perhaps falling in this region about a half inch, a large area along the coastal areas, perhaps a half inch up in northeastern South Carolina, perhaps nearly 2 inches of rain, and over in the between Brunswick and Waycross and the Jessup area, perhaps near an inch of rain expected. We might see more than that. In some locations are probably going to get more than that. As a matter of fact, last night I saw quite a bit of rain across portions of the area. And where is that? That right here. This was last night rainfall. In Savannah, we had about a tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch in most locations. However, to Richmond Hill, to Hinesville, back in toward the Tatnall County area, 1 to 2 inches of rain fell in that region there. And there you can see the swath of heavy rains that extend from around, close to Midway and Richmond Hill, back into the Hinesville area, Glenville, back in toward Reedsville. A lot of rain that did fall. So we're probably going to see stuff like that again tonight. Some areas are going to see perhaps over 2 inches of rain. Now, some of the rains tonight are going to be falling at a rate of very heavy rainfall for brief periods of time, intense rainfall. And with that, you might get some very strong downburst winds. And some of those winds could produce some tree damage, so be on the alert for that. And of course, in the late afternoon, as I mentioned outside, in the late afternoon and early evening hours, expect the possibility of lightning strikes to be associated with these thunderstorms. All right, something else going on right now is the tide. The tide's been very high because of the full moon and the moon at perigee, which made it a super full moon. As a matter of fact, the next 3 full moons after this full moon we just passed are going to be supermoons, meaning that the time of high tide during the full moons, the tides are going to be very, very high. And last night, the tide reached to the top of the marshes right around 9.3 feet, 9.4 feet. And that fills the marshes and the lagoons all the way to the top. The morning high tide not as high as expected, but tonight's high tide again, it's going to be about 8.2 feet, but the tide is running about a foot 1.3 feet higher. So we may see a 9.5 foot tide tonight. Now that's going to be around almost 11 o'clock tonight. Between 10 and midnight is when they're going to have the highest tides. And if we get any heavy rains during that high tide cycle, in the coastal counties particularly, there could be some localized flooding because there's going to be just no place for the water to flow off. All right. Let's look at some of the current weather conditions as of 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the southeast Georgia, southern South Carolina. Temperatures are mostly in the middle 90s, but it's at heat index at the Savannah International Airport, 100 degrees right now. Over in Hinesville, it's sweltering, 105, 101 in Reedsville, 102 at Claxton, 105 at Jessup, and St. Simon's Island's been hot and humid lately with 107 degree heat index going on there right now. Over on Hilton Head Island, about 102. Whew, that's hot on the island. And over at the Beaufort, 106. So yeah, 108. I can't see it as well. So it's very hot and humid across the region. Now, the rain's going to, of course, cool things off. But the heat index for the remainder of the day is going to be in that 105 to 110 degree range. And 110 is dangerous. Actually, the danger level is at 100 or above. So all these areas are in the danger area. However, very dangerous when it gets above 110 for any prolonged outdoor activities. Actually, at 110, it doesn't have to be prolonged. It just could be a short to moderate exposure and physical activity during that time of the highest heat index around 110 or above. The next couple of days, we're going to see those values drop a little bit. From the about 105 to 108 to about 101 to 106. Still a bit high in the Waycross area, over 105 degrees there. And over on the South Carolina, Hilton Head area, right now you're seeing those high index values of 105 to 108 degrees. Tomorrow, a little less. Again, still, I don't want to say cooler. Let's say less heat, less hot. And then even lesser amounts again for Friday going into Saturday. But Sunday, it starts to juice up once again. We're going to see those heat index values again back into the about 100 to 105 to 108 degree range during the mid-afternoon hours. And we're probably going to see those showers and thunderstorms for the next several days. As I mentioned outside, this is July, and this is normal for this time of the year to see the afternoon showers and thunderstorms developing with these hot and humid days. Now, what about the next 6 weeks? This is my 6-week forecast on my website. There it is, savannahpat.name. Right there, savannahpat.name. And above normal temperatures, just about all of this 6-week period. Normal high for this time of the year is about 92, 93 degrees. That's normal. That's what we usually get here in Georgia and South Carolina, Hilton Head, Savannah, Statesboro. And rainfall, this is our rainy season now too, so usually we see about an inch or more of rain per week across our area, about 5 to 7 inches of rain per month in our region. And we've been averaging a slightly above normal rainfall so far this year, and it looks like that average is going to continue. By week 6, maybe a little bit drying out, but still 1.5 inch of rain is normal for early August to middle portions of August. That's week number 6. So I'm in air conditioning, but let's go back outside.
Well, if you need rain, I hope you get enough rain, but not too much rain where it runs off. But nonetheless, we are going to see some of those thunderstorms. Some of them could produce some very strong downburst winds and some very heavy brief periods of rain, so watch out for that. And anytime this time of the year, watch out for those lightning strikes that'll be associated with these storms, particularly the storms that develop during the mid to late afternoon into the evening hours. As I mentioned earlier, I'm out here in the heavenly backyard garden, and over here my dahlias, they're in full bloom right now. And one thing nice about the dahlias, when they bloom, the flower lasts for 7 to 10 days, and these flowers will be blooming all summer long. So that's one of the values of the growing dahlias here in the southeast United States. So I'm very happy with these. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on the weather for you. And keep watching right here on my YouTube channel. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you have any comments, leave your comments below in the comment section. And whatever you like. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, if you haven't already, please subscribe, because you'll be notified when I post new videos for the weather, and gardening, and the sky at night, all on this channel, my weather and nature channel, right here on YouTube. So I'm going to go back inside where it's a little bit cooler. Hopefully the air conditioning will continue to run throughout the rest of the afternoon, because it is getting hot and humid out here right now. So see you later.